Alright, I got these two engines here, two Outboard, two straight Chrysler motors. I got them for stuff all, only paid $50 for both of the engines. Give you a look at them. Both of them have got the pull starter problem. The pull starter doesn't rewind the spring in it, which is a known problem, and they've both got this problem as well. Give us a look. Put up there. I'm going to give them a good degreaser first before I do anything with them. They're both complete motors apart from one of them's missing the fuel line, which they've mangled this up in the front of it here. The fuel fit here, hook it on. This one right here. But got the fuel hose here still. It's going to the pump, and it looks like they've put gaskets of some sort wedged in the pump. So I don't know what's been going on there. They've also been trying to start the engine with a drill. Because the pull starters are both got the same problem. They don't rewind. So that's the first thing I'll be dealing with. I'll be taking these apart, seeing what's going on with the spare. That's a short shaft motor. That's a long shaft. We've got this spacer in between it. Here. You could convert it, take this shaft off here, put the short shaft on this bigger motor. You can convert them by the looks of them. They look exactly the same setup. So you can definitely make one motor out of two here. Alright, I'll get some degreaser out, give them a degrease down, and I'll block off these carbies. I'll get something, a piece of tape or something, and I'll wash all these out before I clear them because they're oily shit. When I do that, I'll bring this back. Alright, I've just stuck a bit of tape on there. It's only just sitting on there. Put it on both things. Obviously you can see this motor's very dirty in here. You want to be running this. I'll probably have to do, let's add a piece broken off here on the pull starter. We'll get to that. Probably have to get some a bolt and some Devicon Vicks. I'll show you how to do that. Let's wash them down. Just got some degreaser on these spray bottles. Make sure you get in there everywhere. I'll leave this open for a while too. Spray the whole engine everywhere. Same this engine. done the spray inside and leave it so. Make sure you put the cover somewhere where you're not going to tread on them, because these are very old, they're plastic, so they'll break. So once we do that, and what we do is after I'll leave these soaking for a while. I'll give them probably 15 minutes or something, because there's no sun out, and when I come back I'll carefully hose them all out. Obviously, because we're going to re-grease all these arms and that, so don't worry about that at the moment. Like got your joints in here and that, they're all dry. We'll re-grease all that. I'll give this one a go too. And yeah, once they soak for a while and they dry off, before I wash them, I'll bring these back and we'll see the amount of crap that comes out of them. Alright, they've been sitting for a little bit soaking. Clean them up. We've got a hole actually where the water can come in, so the water's not going to get in the engine at all. This engine looks like a very good motor. Looks like it's done very good work. Very birdy anyway. Got to lay that engine back on that water. Use the engine itself pretty hard. All right. mask and tape still on there. That's where the water's coming out. It's got a drain hole in it. Alright, once I turn this hose off, I'll bring it back. I noticed already with this one, it's got the pin in it still. Got that metal pin in there. I noticed that this one, it pulls out that thing but the pin's missing on it. I don't know what the story is with that. And it's got that broken off on there too. Two things I noticed with it already is them two. Apart from that, they come up quite nice. A little bit stained in here, but nothing too bad. What I'll do is I'll leave him out in the sun for a while. Once he's dry out properly, I'll come back and we'll take these pull stars off. This one here might be an easy fix. I might just take this whole unit and might swap some shit off that motor. Put her on this one. She's a bigger motor. Looks in way better, low air condition apart from these gaskets. They put like 3 gaskets on here. I don't know what the hell is there. I don't know, it's got 3 gaskets on here from factory. Oh, my mistake. I thought someone deliberately did that. Maybe they did, maybe someone brought new gaskets for it, which tells me this could be a very good running engine. With it fixed, of course, the pull starter. I reckon they got rid of it because of the pull starter. So, and it moves nice and free. This one's a bit stiff in the leg. The reason why I was saying about we'll wash them out and that is because these carbs, they don't run any air filters. I know it sounds stupid, doesn't it? And any of that dust and shit in the motor, like going out there in the water and opening up, that dust and shit's getting sucked into it, so we don't want that dust and shit getting in the engine. This one's way cleaner. Look at that. You could eat your tea off that now. Looks like it's got some epoxy shit on here. That looks like some sort of Devicon or something already. By the looks of that, someone's put some Devicon on it. Maybe for some reason on that pulley, but we'll soon find out shortly. Yeah, for $50 for 2 engines. Can't complain. It's got the locking pin in this one still. It's missing out of that one. Apart from that, they're all there. Oh, and that busted fuel line, which that's not going to be a big deal because I'll just rob it from this one. Obviously I'll try and get the pull starter going on both loaders, because it'd be nice to see them both running. Just quiet this down. It's only sitting here, I'm not going to be doing anything with it. Just stop flopping about. That's better. And yeah, once they dry out, I'll bring these back and we'll check them pull stars out. Alright, we just undo these 2 bolts on the pull star on that side, on this side. Yourself a magnet. what's going on with this one. Seems to be tight. Now a lot of these people like when they stuff around this sort of shit. They now how do we go get this out? Just lifts out. So what have they done with it? I should say, what haven't they done? I've got a crack on the plastic here. I'd rather just take this whole thing off. Try and undo this knot. Give myself a little screwdriver. We'll just undo this knot here. Just get a screwdriver. A little tool here. Oops. Bloody hell, they've done this up. They've jammed this knot on here. There you go, got it. Alright, I'll take the whole mechanism out. It was just threaded through here. It looks like a real prick to get back in there. Maybe it might pay you. Shouldn't be too bad. I'll be able to fish that back. Righto. We've got the mechanism out here. Check that one out. What I'll do is I'll take that one off. I'll do the same when I've got that. I'll bring it inside and check it out. I'll show you actually what's going on with this pull cord, these Chrysler engines. This is the alloy bolt. Goes through the actual guts for there. And what it does is it goes in the bottom here. You've got this black plug, right? And that sits in there, sits down onto that bar, and that's what locks this. Well, what's happened is is that the spring's messed up. Someone's been playing around with the spring and the end of it here. It's ripped out of this holder. But I've got this other one over here, off this other motor, and I can get you a good view up of it, what's going on. Now, you see that little spring in there onto the side? I'll show you. This spring right there, well, it's supposed to go in that hole here. See that hole on the side where my finger is? It's supposed to sit in here, and it locks that in. And this piece in the bottom here locks on that steel bar. And what's happened is this spring, it keeps on slipping out of here. So I've done a bit of research and that. They say how to fix this problem. Stop from doing that is get this bar coming protruding out here and put a little weld on it. And that goes on here like this. This goes on here. Put your spring in there in the hole. And that's that piece. So we take that stuff off. And this is the problem that gives these Chryslers a lot of problems, is that this spring here slips out of the holder. So you've got the holder here, and you put the spring in, and that's the piece that comes out. It slips out, and that's why your pull starter don't work. This mechanism here, it's got the slit in it. It just slides in through here, and it comes out the top, and that's how you rewind your pull starter, the recoil of it. And that's your piece here. This is what it looks like complete. And that just goes in nice and flush on the bottom. Like that. You just wind your rope, and this other clip just sits on it. Just like that. And you got your pin. Your pin goes in here, you wind it up, you put your pin back in both sides there. That's how your pin sits. So once I go and put a weld on this to hold that in that position, I'll bring it back. Now this is the repair that I've done to it, the spring, for a Chrysler 10-15 horsepower motor and 9s and that, all the low top profile engines. What I did is that there's a piece of wire, I don't know what I've done with that other, there it is. What I did is there's a piece of wire that goes through that hole here, so that wire goes in there like that. I don't know if you can see this, hopefully, yep. It goes through there, but it sits on top of the spring. This spring's mangled up, it sits on there like that. And I've pushed the wire through it, and I've got a couple of cotter pins. I try to weld it. I try to weld the top of this wire, and it's a no-go. It puts too much heat in the spring, and it wants to melt this plastic on here. So that's not going to work. So what I did is I pushed the spring up in there, and I already had a couple of welds on there, like a couple of bits of bird shit on the spring, which caused the two cotter pins to lock in. Now what I'll do is I'm going to go and cut these cotter pins off, and I'm going to file this down so it fits inside the tube, so it fits in here, because it's got to go back in here. And I'll grind these cotter pins and so it's all nice and flush, and I'll put plenty of lube on it, and I'll put Devicon in the back of the hole that he face metal, it is Devicon face metal. I'll put it in the back of the hole in this spot here where it's slogged out. I filled all this up here with Devicon, and I've got the two cotter pins on there facing out, as you can see, and that's how I'm going to try and fix this Chrysler pull start. Otherwise the spring's $80 for this piece to buy. $100 from USA. You can buy these springs and that for it, but that's a bit of money, $80 to fix your pull start. And yeah, once I cut this off and that, I'll bring this back when I'm about to assemble it on the motor, and we'll see how she works. Alright, so how we assemble this is that I've just tightened this screw down end here pretty tight, and what I'm going to do is I'll wind the spring up just like this with a screwdriver, and how I'll do it is that when it's in this holder, I'll show you this, put it in this holder here, I'll get the hole lined up here, right there, I'll turn that around, I don't know, a few times with a screwdriver, get it preloaded, and then I'll pop that pin in it. This will be on there of course, and I'll pop that pin in it here, and the spring will be loaded, and I'll be good to go. That's how we're going to load it. Put tension on the spring. This is a repair I did of it. This is after I've grinded it. It's not perfect. Put some Devicon in there where it was all slogged out too. So what I'll do is I'll get some grease, and I'm going to grease this up first before I even go like taking it to put on the motor. Devicon's nice and good. It's good with grease stuff. You want to lube up that spring properly. This spring here, put plenty of lube on that, because that's going to be slipping inside the where the rod is in here. So once you've got plenty of lube on it, make sure I lube up the bottom of the hole, and I'll just put this spring straight in the holder. I'll try and twist it because I want to try and trap that grease in it, and I'll do this a couple of times because you want to get as much of that grease in the pulley of itself as much as possible for maximum lubrication. Oh, that feels real nice. Right, once we've done that, just wipe your hands off with some tissues, paper towel, rag or anything, and I'll take this out and we'll put it on the motor. We've got a couple of things here to assemble, just the bracket and the cog, and we've also got a pin that we've got to put in after we set the spring tension, which goes in this hole, but I've got to preload it first before you line up that hole there. What you can see through here, that's the hole we've got to get this pin in once we've got the tension on the spring. Hopefully my repair will work. Alright, I'll take this back out the outboard and we'll put it on. Alright, before we go to put this back, we need to put the pulsar cord back in this pulley. Now this is going to be a bit tricky because the cord's frayed a bit, but what you need to do is just get a little tool like this. We're going to try and push that cord into here, and we need to grab it. I'm going to have to go and get myself another. What's happening is I've only got half of the cord. I need to get the full cord for there, not just a piece of it. I have to cut that off and start again. Try and trim it up the best you can. I've got a tool in there with a hook. I'll grab that and I'll be... to go. I don't know how many minutes later that I stuffed around with it. Right, all we need to do is tighten on it. Just a simple knot. And pull that knot real tight. That way you can just pull it back through like a pull starter. Oh, then all I was going to do is just wrap it like this. Unwrap the cord. We don't want to wrap that in there. I'll do this. Slant the motor right down. On the put grease on here. One and a half, two, 2.5, 3, 3.5, 4, 4.5. No. The screws come undone. What happened is the screw what I put in there, I'm using the screw to tighten it down, to tension it, and the screw, I didn't tighten it snug enough. I'm going to do it 2 times I was stripping. Right, I think I'm going to have to use probably not that. Let's just see if that will go in there properly. Yeah, we're about whole. Right, to load the spring, know where the hole is. It's half a turn, 1 turn, 1.5, 2, 2.5, 3, 3.5, 4, 4.5. 5 turns feel good. Now I've got to find the hole. Back the screw off first. Not all the way out. pin go all the way through. Because it's not quite in line. That's why. That's almost got it. That's got it. Got the pin in now. We need to get the pin all the way through though. Yep. That's it. Got the pin back in there. I need to tighten that down. Tighten the bolt down. Not too tight. Rightio. Rightio, we have a working pull start. I'll clean all this shit off. Clean all this shit off here and we'll put the motor in the box. We'll take the plugs out and see if she's got spark. Alright, let's fix this. Now this has got a little hook. You can see got a little hook on here. Hooks into here. And it comes back onto what is it, bent up or something this? It's got it. Put that back on there. Then do is swap the spark plug over. See if that makes a difference. Alright, we've got a drill here. I'll have to sort that out for a minute. As you can see that, it's got spark. I think I'll clean these spark plugs out and I'll bring these back. They're just a bit, one's a bit dirty. Oh, I'll just give these spark plugs a clean up. We'll put them back in. Got a funny feeling this carby is going to have to be taken off and cleaned out. We'll see anyway. I'll try and do that now. I thought I'd show you how to mix some two-stroke oil too. Get a container of the graph on the side of it. Make sure it's clean. Wipe it out. And we're going to mix up some Chrysler oil. I've got a 20 litre drum of this stuff, two-stroke this. This is what we're going to be putting in that outboard. So, if it's, I don't know what these motors are, if it's 50 to 1, pretty sure it's about 50 to 1 mix. So that means 50 litres of fuel to 1 litre of oil. So if we mixed up 10 litres of fuel, it'd be 200 mils of oil for 10 litres. So if it was mixing up a litre, so if it's 200 mils for 10 litres, 20 mils a litre. 20 mils a litre. Yep. So we need to mix up 20 mils of this oil. We've got a little thing on the side of here. See if we can use that. That was 20 mils in that. This bottle, don't know if you can see it properly. Got 20 mils a litre. So if we times that by 10, we're only mixing up a litre. So 10's 5. 5 litres is 100 mil. So 10 litres is 200 mil in a bottle. It's 50 to 1. So yeah, that's right. A little bit extra won't hurt. Put in there. Got a fuel jug here. And we've got to mix up to a litre. Whoops. Tipping the shit out now. We'll put about 800 ml of petrol in it. That's enough. We want to make it a little bit richer. Right, now what we've got to do is we're going to have to stir this with something. Because we're not going to leave it like this. Nicely mixed in. That's how you mix it. Right, we'll get a syringe. Sort of standing on. Get yourself one of these. You only probably need, whoops, got something jammed here. These are brand new too. Alright, I'll take these out there. I'm going to have to put this in something. I think I've got an empty drum here. Yeah, I've got an empty drum here. I'll leave the gas in this for the time being. I'll take you back to the outboard. Alright, back at the outboard. Shoot some fuel in there. That should be enough. Put our spark plugs back in here. sure the leads aren't sitting down in there either. So get the leads out. Yeah, oh yeah, it's got top on here, that's good. You've got to go in the exact same spot, obviously. 2 cylinders, so you'll misfire if it's in the wrong one. Oh. Tighten them both back up. I should have tightened the bottom one up first. That's the problem. That's what you're supposed to do. You can see the gas that I put in the cylinder. Put a bit of extra, a little bit too much gas in it. Tighten the plugs up properly. Then I can go shooting out a spark plug. Yeah, I overdid it with the gas a bit. Right. Now this lead here's got top on it. This one's got, this one, that's top. This one's for the bottom. I have to push this in properly. Alright, push them both on. Let's see if we can get it to fire. Yep, it's gonna go. Let's see if we can get it to go. We're going to have to pull start. If I can get some extra fuel in there, put a bottle or something. I don't have that. Don't have that bottle for it. What I'll do is I'll just this is the second engine I got, 15 horsepower Chrysler. Just took the spark plugs out of this, and this thing looks like it's been running. Doesn't look like it's going to be much wrong with this motor. I'll just check for spark. If it's got spark, I might try and start off with a drill. I'll clean these up and I'll be back. Alright, let's see if this one's got spark. Very good compression, this one. She's a low hour motor, this one. She's 15 horsepower Chrysler. She looks like she'd be a run of a pull start. Let's get some, I don't really want to be trying to start it with a drill though. I've got the pull start on this motor. I've got it all hooked up on this 10 horsepower. I think I might focus more on this 15. She turns and stuff in the leg of her and that too. She's moves alright, she's got grease on her. So what I'll do is I won't swap the pull start yet because I want to see if I can get that one cranking and see if this one will pump water or not. I'll squirt a bit of fuel down this plug hole, and when I do that I'll bring this back. Just in case any of yous have got these motors yourselves and that leads come off the spark plug where it tells you top, it's the shorter one of the two that goes on the top. Just a little tip there for you if you have that issue. Drop them in there first. This motor here seems like it'd be well worth buying a pull start for, because this thing's a low hour engine. This thing's done no work. Like, I mean, just look at this thing. Look, what a bloody shame. I mean, I got these things given to me for a gift, more or less. 25 bucks an engine. Look at it. I mean, how could you just junk this motor? Like, I mean, it's just too good a motor. So what I'll do is I'll put some petrol in the plug. I'll give her a crank, the drill. Put the choke out. Just see if she does the right stuff. Whoa, she's gonna go. I think we'll put some petrol in this one, eh? With some gas in this motor. Do you want to start straight up? So what I'll do is, I've got my bottle over there ready. I'm going to put it in this fuel line. And looks like we've got a different size fitting on here. It's a lot smaller on this motor. I'll have to get a 4mm to 6mm adapter or something for that. What I'll do is, once I get my fuel and shit all hooked up for this, I'll bring this back and I'm going to bolt this motor down properly so she doesn't run off on us. See if I can get this one running. She needs a carby clean, this one, by the looks of her. And it's the second motor, it's not pumping water. So you've got to be very careful with these. This one here started straight up. I had this one running already, not pumping water either. So we'll have to take the legs off them. This one's a beautiful motor. She just had a little bit of a pop and fart. Oh yeah, I had it rigged up like this, just with the fuel in it.